Gonna have a nice, calm show. Calm week. I'm T Street Controversy. Call the show T Street Controversy Live. It's gonna be a good week. Why? Because there's some more meaningful boxing. Now, I'm waiting for delivery. My bad, I thought I heard the bell. George St. Groves, 19-2, with 15 KOs. Only 2 losses to Carl, the Cobra, Froch. Gotta do the snake. You have Christopher Rebrasse, Frenchman, 22-2-3, with only 6 knockouts. You ask yourself, okay, all right, well, I understand. You know, that's a good fight for George Groves, putting him in there with a guy that only has 6 knockouts. I watched a couple of fights of Christopher Rebrasse. In fact, his last 2 fights were with the same person, Muhammad Injai, I forgot his name. Long story short, Rebrasse is slow. Rebrasse is like a faster version of Angulo to a certain extent. I don't know if that's doing him justice. I don't know if that's doing him justice. But the point I'm trying to make is he's going to be open and right there for the right hand of George Groves, that same one that was put Carl Froch down and had Carl Froch in trouble. But here's the issue: George Groves is going through like this denial thing. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's him as a person. I don't know if it's him selling himself. But he's got to get off the Carl Froch. He really thinks he has a chance. Now, not only did he get stopped in the first fight, it was controversial, but still, if he didn't get stopped then, he was going to get stopped later on. But then in the second fight, they put that exclamation point on it by knocking him out. Knocking him out. Okay? He went to sleep. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. He said he had nightmares, you know, that he would lose to Carl Froch. And the nightmare was real. So, what I'm saying is, where does he go from here? This fight is going to be for the EBU European Super Middleweight 160-pound title. You don't know what that means, but basically, that's like the belt you get before you start fighting for contender belts. Also, this will be for the vacant WBC Super Middleweight Super Intercontinental. It's WBC Super Middleweight Intercontinental Silver 168-pound title. So basically what I'm saying is that's the belt that Amir Khan has. That's the belt that who has it at 160? Who has it at 160? Who has it at 160? I don't remember who has it at 160. Oh, Rubio and Golovkin are fighting for it at 160. You know, Anthony Mundine and Sergey Rabchenko is fighting for it at 154. And what I'm saying is it's the #1 contender fight. So what's going on is you got George Groves fighting for a #1 contender slot against who? The dog, Anthony Dirrell. So George Groves seems very confident that he's quote unquote, he feels he could be champion by the end of the year. And I'm like, whoa, that's a tough fight right there. Now, George Groves is very smart to as far as his career is concerned, but there are issues and there's stuff I'm hearing about him not being able to sell the tickets for this fight. Now it's in Wembley, but no, not the big Wembley. But you know, but here's the thing: he's an exciting kid. He's a good kid, but he's somewhat viewed as a whiner, a whinging wanker. And that's not. I'm not English. I'm not from the UK. That's what people call it. And they'd be like, yeah, he's a whiny, whingy wanker, that twat. And I'd be like, oh goddamn, you know. And what is? It's like this game they said they play over there. I forgot. You know, like when you knock on the door and beat down a ginger or something like that. I don't know. Y'all know it more than me, but that's like brutal. I forgot what the game is called. It's something like when you knock on the door, and then if the person's ginger, you just beat their ass. Like, I mean, it's not funny, but it's like, damn, like, you know, it's real over there. Especially when you're a ginger. Then I got people that say, yeah, he's referred to as ugly boy. That's what they call it. They say, hey, ugly boy. I mean, it's fucked up. But overall, I mean, he's a good fighter. Even though he got knocked out, you know, he's a good fighter. But the question is going to remain, how is he mentally? Now, he seems like he's mentally strong because, like I said, he still wants to go in there with Carl Froch again. He's just like, yeah, a third fight, I'll do it again. But, Carl Froch has moved on. Carl Froch is able to sell tickets, even though Carl Froch is not the international superstar that I think he is. I mean, realistically, he need that pay-per-view. And Andre Ward can't give it to him. If Chavez would have been active and got his shit together and fought GGG, then he could have went on. Golovkin is just not ready yet for a pay-per-view. We just don't know. So we're talking about James DeGale once again in Wembley, or in some big venue, which will most likely sell. Now, like I said, after this fight, I'm picking George Groves to win against Christopher Rebrasse, but him going directly against the dog, Anthony Dirrell, how is that? I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how it's going to work. But the thing I can say about George Groves is he doesn't if he wants to fight, he'll get a fight. So he'll make it to the point where Anthony Dirrell will have to, saying Al Heyman not, Anthony Dirrell will have to vacate that title if he doesn't fight George Groves, because George Groves will make sure it goes to a person, and George Groves will make sure he gets his shot. I mean, look. Carl Froch was trying to get away from it. Carl Froch had to fight him. Just so happened it was the best decision Carl Froch made in his career. But like I said, the kid has to get respect, because why? American fans don't understand it. From my research and what I'm getting from people who live over in the UK, they're saying that the pay-per-view sold somewhere around 900,000 pay-per-view buys. So basically that would make it the biggest pay-per-view event of the year and the largest event of the year. So take nothing away, from George Groves. He was in the biggest fight of the year. So American fans, they still don't know who he is. They're not going to care to know, and it's really not their fault, because we have no way to see these fights. It's going to be on Skysports. I'm going to be able to see the fight, but still, they need to find a way to be able to air these fights, some way over here. Anyway, like I said, I'm T Street Controversy with Real Combat Media. The links to everything, all boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, right below. Then I got a Facebook page. It's a boxing forum. You got to send a friend request. I'll leave it at that. Check the friends list if you want, but it's official. T Street Controversy. T Street Controversy Live.